Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome back to Disco Elysium. I am your host, Nasty Candy. Right. We've made it into the kitchen. I can't see there being a lot to do in here, to be perfectly honest. Let's take this money. An aroma of spices, alcohol, and tomato hangs in the air. Who are you? Gorisi Gubek. A thin man is smoking below an exhaust hood, occasionally sipping from his mug. This must be the whirling in Rags's cook. As you step in, he nods towards the table and says something in a completely foreign language. The only words you can make out are Gorisi and Kubek. It must be his name. Gorisi Kubek. Sounds representative. Ah, Gorisi, I have some questions to ask. The man puts his cup down and replies something, his left hand drawing arcs in the air. You've got some impressive pots there. He smiles and bangs his label against each of his pots in turn. You don't think I need anything else? Stay masculine. Well, that was really unhelpful. You see a heavy steel door with a prominent dimple lock. It's painted blue. You immediately feel drawn to the colour. Blue is for mystery. I wonder where this door leads. You do? The lieutenant regards you with patient skepticism. It's a door in the back of a kitchen. Why do you care where it leads? There's something about this place that makes me want to know. Eccentric, but okay. I suppose we could look into it as a side investigation. He's not bothered by your eccentricity. He seems genuinely intrigued himself. The door and the main investigation will merge into a stereo investigation. If you say so. He looks at the door and then you. Gart is the person to ask about this, the cafeteria manager. Trying to push on the door. The door does not budge. Well, that was pointless. Have you got anything to say to me?
Yes.
Mr. Kitsurugi? We need to put some points into our Inland Empire before we can broach that subject again. Oh, can we get in here? No, we still can't get in here. Tell me about this door, sir.
Can I help you?
Here's your trash container key. Thanks. I hope you found what you were looking for. I found the victim's clothes. How strange. Well, I certainly didn't put them there. Maybe you don't remember them being put there. Maybe you were sleepwalking or in a fugue state. I think fugue states are more your forte, officer. Could somebody on your staff have put them there? Sylvie had the keys before I got here, and I can vouch for her. I can vouch for all my staff. None of us would tamper with a crime scene. Who else has keys to the trash container? The trash collection services, CS Municipal. I don't see why they would put anything in the trash, though. Ah, the elusive CS Municipal. I doubt we'll be able to track down who was sent here last and when. This will have to be one of those little threads that solves itself down the line. On Clinton Street, near the Boogie Street Diamond, a small truck rattles down an alleyway. It stops by a rusted trash container. Two men, their faces rough and swollen, jump out. They look at the container despondently. CSM is written on their backs. Thank you anyway. Thanks. Let's talk about something else. Goodbye. So, we need to go and maybe get hold of Sylvie, I believe. We can contact her through our vehicle. No, we don't. We don't want to ask people for money. We're not doing that. Who put your clothes in the trash? Ask Kuno. We're not doing that. Call Sylvie using Kim's shortwave. That's what we had to do. And we need to explore the secret passage. These are important matters. I've spent the last few days putting a little bit too much pressure on myself to get videos produced, and I'm going to try and be a bit more relaxed. I'm just going to finish this playthrough and maybe play some other things in the meantime as well. Have we already held up our card in front of the light? Alice, please connect me to the 41st. Just a moment, officer. A 10-4 coming, officer. Over. I'm in dire need of financial assistance. 10-4, I hear you. I don't have the authority to grant your request, but... What does he want now? He's asking for money. Is he fucking kidding? I don't think he is. Don't give that asshole anything. He's just going to drink it all. All right. The operator turns back to you. That's a negative on the additional funds, sir. Over. Okay. Please. I'm begging you here. I don't even have a place to sleep tonight. He says he's in trouble. Doesn't have a place to sleep. Well, I guess he better crack the case before sundown then. Vikmar said. Who cares what this Vikmar said? Pull on their heartstrings. It is... Please, I don't want to be here anymore. I want to go home. Please come and get me. Listen. He seems to lower his voice a bit, carefully choosing his words. It's okay. You can do it, sir. Over. What is he saying? The operator chooses to ignore the voice in the background. Did you want anything else, sir? He asks you. Many of your colleagues are also here. Over. You really need to get your shit together. This is nearing a complete meltdown. No, I'm alright. I had other things. Let's address them now, sir. Over. I don't know that I should tell them about losing my gun. I feel like I wouldn't tell them about losing my gun. We'll pick up the radio. We need to connect to Sylvie. She may have reported a murder. Kim, didn't Gart give you Sylvie's number? Yes, hold on. The lieutenant takes a look at his notes. Her number is 005-1944-298. Received. Hold on. Wait patiently. Lieutenant Kitsurugi begins to tap a little rhythm with his right foot. Quite a lot of time has passed. Officer, I have Sylvie Malachi on the line for you. Hello, this is the police calling. I have some questions for you about your last days at work. Oh, alright. She recognises your voice almost immediately. Hello, officer. What can I do for you? You can hear resentment in her tone. She's not thrilled to be talking to you again. There is no resentment in her tone. She wants you to ask her out, no question about it. You quit your job at the Whirling. Why? You mean why did I leave the bar? You can hear her tense up on the other side. Honestly, I'm not really comfortable discussing it with you. Alright, I won't push you. Are you ever coming back to work? Maybe, I don't know. I just know I have to take some time off right now. Was it you who called the police? No, not me. But why? Didn't a corpse behind your workplace bother you? Of course it bothered me, but I thought the union already knew about the corpse. What does this have to do with the union? No one calls the police. You can hear her adjust the receiver in her hand. The union would get angry. What do you mean by that? You know, she seems to be looking for words. What the union says goes. People listen to them and they take care of their own, which is like everyone here. Is she speaking the truth? Is the union the law around here? Legally, no. In reality, yes. He looks around. Martinez is de facto policed by the dock workers union. Words are not necessary to feel the lieutenant's discontent for the situation. It looks like there's a limit to my authority then. Tell me, why exactly did you let a corpse hang in your own backyard for weeks instead of calling us? I didn't want to get in trouble with the others. It sounds as if she's about to cry. What others? The other people who live around here, local people. I didn't want trouble. Her voice is resigned and weak. What trouble? You don't live here, you don't understand. Squealing is frowned upon here. Everything is dealt with, well, by the union. Internally. Let me get this straight. You ignored the law to save your own skin. I didn't know I had to report it. I thought someone would take him down eventually. Her voice breaks. The fucking nerve on her, trying to hide behind weakness. You're a god. An angry but just god. God? What the fuck? It's okay, things happen, not really your fault. Yes, I know. It's just... She takes a deep breath before continuing. Was there anything else? Do you know who did make the call? No, I don't. She clears her throat. Not a lot of people have phones around here. Copper thieves take the wires. People don't have the money to have the cables put in again. They use the union's phone or the one on the coast. It was someone else. The lieutenant makes a note. We'll find them sooner or later, officer. Just might take a while. Do you know how my paperwork ended up in the trash? Well, you tried to jam it down the toilet, sir. Clogged it completely. After I had unclogged the toilet and retrieved the paperwork, I threw it out in the trash, thinking you didn't need it. I'm sorry about that. She doesn't sound anything like she's sorry. Anything else, detective? Have you seen my badge? Yes, I know who you are. You're a police officer. The law. My badge is missing. Have you seen it somewhere? No, I haven't. Sorry. Real policemen have uniforms too, by the way. Where's yours? Kim doesn't have a uniform and he seems real to me. He's in plain clothes. Voluntarily. It's different from not knowing where your uniform is. There are officers who wear the signature Perseus Black uniforms in the highest ranks in RCM and end up buried in them as well. Others do it more casually. Looks like you're one of them. Have you seen my gun? Oh, please, no, not this again. Everyone saw your cool gun, detective. She sounds beyond exacerbated. I showed you my gun? When did that happen? You were trying to impress some people with it. Everyone was eating and she stops hesitantly, not sure if she should continue. Sounds like it's going to be bad. Do you really want to know? And what? What did I do? You were waving it around in everyone's face, begging them to describe it. You said it calms you, and then you started making suicide jokes. It got pretty graphic. Some poor sod was trying to eat his pudding while you were screaming, spit flying, imitating the mercy shot right next to him. Spat some in his food. I don't think he touched it after that. People tried to back away from you, or even slip out of the door, but you screamed, I am the goddamn law, and you have to listen to me. You are all suspects in a murder investigation. Okay, I don't know what to say. Me neither. Yeah, but what happened to my gun? No idea. All I know is next you were saying, you were waving around money instead, saying things like, big bucks cannot lie and guns can't buy money, but money can always buy guns. It almost looked as if you pawned it, but believe me, I did not ask. She sighs. I think I've got everything I need. Please don't call me again. Why do you seem angry? Before you go, you're mad at me, right? Tell me, what did I do? I can't remember anything. I'm not mad, it's just... You were so drunk and so emotional all the time, and then the skewer thing happened. It just made me want to quit. What skewer thing? The stuffed bird, the great skewer. You threw it against the wall while screaming, fuck that bird, and laughing like a maniac. I think you said it had been giving you shit ever since you got there. Yeah, that sounds like me alright. It didn't seem like you had fun doing it though. So you're telling me that I was the one who made you want to quit? Yes, obviously. You were the worst client I've ever seen, and I've seen so many arseholes in this place. I've had sailors fighting, union guys grabbing my ass, kids stealing booze. Once a guy was glued to the karaoke machine every night for 2 months. But you... Go on, I want to know what I did. You were worse than all of them. Honestly, you were getting borderline aggressive. Even about little things like not turning down the volume at 3 AM. I even liked one of those songs you kept listening to on repeat. Not more. Not anymore. I hate it now. Hold on, which song? We Go On by the OO, she sighs. I can't listen to it anymore. You've turned it into a parody. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about the song. To hell with the song. Then was your room. Then there was your room, your project, an experiment to see how bad it can get in there. I tried to send the cleaner, but you wouldn't let me. Threatened to make me understand. I had no idea what you meant, and I don't want to know. And then you screamed something about the end of all times and how everyone is a piece of shit. She takes a deep breath. That sounds intense. And then I had to deal with your toilet, the one you clogged with police documents causing water damage downstairs in the kitchen. I won't even mention you waving your gun around, harassing customers, threatening to sing karaoke, threatening to kill yourself. Okay, I get it. I wasn't a very good tenant. No, you weren't. You're simply the worst. I'm truly sorry. God, I knew I shouldn't have brought it up. Just try not to call me again, and let's pretend it never happened. Thanks for talking with me. Take care. You hear a sigh of relief on the other end of the radio. Wordless, the call breaks, and then the already familiar voice. Anything else I can help you with, officer? I'm done. 57th over and out. Her voice disappears into the void. Close the door. So, we have got another skill point, which we should invest into something. We're incredibly cerebral and we should stick with that. So I think we should only upgrade our psyche things. Let's have a look. Keep your morale up. Hunches and gut feelings. Increased empathy. Intimidate the public. L'esprit de corps. Understand cop culture. Charm men and women. Play the puppet master. Wasn't there some indication of what would be useful for us in here? Okay, we can speak to Tommy La'Om if we've got empathy. We can talk to Kim if we have Inland Empire. That might help us a little bit. And that being our main skill, that's probably really helpful. I think we'll go with Inland Empire. Hunches and gut feelings. Dreams in waking life. Let's see if we can get away with our skill check now. Which is something relatively ridiculous, I believe. Talking to him about how there's more going on with this. Convince Kim there's a sexy dark mystery twist in the case. Failure? Only banal things strike you. At the core, you're a very banal person. Well, that's annoying. I really thought that would work out. So what have we got? Ampule of ammonia. Lieutenant's handkerchief. The kind green ape pen. Ah, we can wake him up with physical instrument. And we need endurance for the hanged man. Okay. Let's have an explorer chore. Some great tectonic forces crack the pavement like an eggshell. The worn and beaten wooden planks of the bench do not look overly comforting. The lieutenant sits down on the street. Oh, looks down the street. We can sit on benches after we've solved the murder. Let's go. You can revisit the bench if you ever need to pass the time when Lieutenant Kitsurugi is gone. Maybe a sea monster did this to the plaza. Ooh, what's this? Is that a newsstand or... Mail collection box. This post l'Aventurière mail collection box has been heavily vandalised with graffito. A closer inspection reveals 2 bullet holes in the front. Fuck you, mail delivery box. There is a hollow, saddened ring as you kick the L'Aventure mail collection box. It sounds betrayed, in disbelief even. Your toe has suffered damage. It hurts. Cool, the lieutenant nods approvingly. You really showed that mail collection box. You think so? You think it was cool? I don't. Let's go. He must see the box as the weaker of the two and you as a bully, something he doesn't stand for. Good mail delivery box. The mail collection box has no faith in your psychopathic manipulations. Oh dear. Ooh, who's this? What's this? Firstly, this book has a rose, a pistol, and a half-naked dame on its cover. This book appears to be erotica, but without actual erotica. On the cover stands a very muscular man surrounded by flames. This book is about pate. Good. This book, you don't really understand what it's about, nor does it seem important. A book about Boidero culture and promotes freedom and roaming upstream. A book about the future. The government reads your mind using radio technology.
Hello, sir. Step right in. The store is open.
A young girl with chubby red cheeks waves at you, smiling. Her nose is red from the cold. Hello.
Are you interested in a new and exciting book?
She stomps her feet to feel warmer. What kind of store is this?
It's a bookstore, sir. We sell books, postcards, and some board games.
She
It's called Crime, Romance, and Biographies of Famous People.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold your horses, little girl. What is a book?
That is a book. They have stories inside them. It's like someone told you a story in a really long letter.
What's a postcard?
A postcard is a small cardboard picture. You can write a few words on the other side and send it to your friend or beloved.
She is unfazed by your questions. She would consider it impolite to point out any perceived weirdness. What's a board game?
Board games are like little games on a table, made to pass the time. There are several different ones, but sailors here mostly buy cards.
Interesting.
My
Thanks.
pleasure. Anything else you'd like to know?
Is it okay if I ask you some questions?
Okay, sir. I'll try to answer any questions you have. I hope they're about books.
What's your name? My name is Annette, sir. My mum, her name is Plaisance. She owns the store. She's inside minding the register or organising the stock. The girl gazes at the window, then suddenly jolts. Her eyes feel wide, as if recalling something. Feel free to step in and browse our wares. And you're standing out here in the cold because... I'm signalling that the store is open, she nods eagerly. Otherwise people might not know. They'd miss out on the crime, romance and biographies of famous people. A sudden gust of wind turns the pages of the books on the counters. She uncovers her face, smiling, but she's cold. You're cold. Can I help in some way? Kind of you to offer, sir. She doesn't know what else to say. What could you do to help her? Such a good trooper you are, already learning the value of hard work. Thank you, sir. I'm happy to help Mum out with the store. She smiles and stands upright like a little soldier. Shouldn't you be at school or something? I do my studies at home at the moment. I have to help Mum keep the place running. What is school anyway? School? She rubs her red chilled nose. Well, mine is a big yellow building on Boogie Street. And the people there run it. They say it's a charity. The gale wind blows in from the coast, a wind of needles. It wraps itself around the building of brick and mortar somewhere. Somewhere a clamour rings through the honeycomb of classrooms. What is this feeling? Remorse. The parquet of assembly rooms, the row of stool bars are growing cold. The corridors stand empty. A girl's voice somehow finds its way through that strange feeling. You haven't heard a word of what she's been saying these past few moments. You only hear, Mum says it's necessary to do both, because it builds character. Mum says a proper worker is dutiful. That's how you get ahead in life. You succeed. And how's this business doing? Mum says it's peachy. She was a little afraid at first. There's talk about this house being... cursed. Behind her, the window has been boarded up. You sense the boards creaking, twisting for a second, and some kind of doubt in her tense shoulders. Good to hear it's going well. I'm sure there's nothing to worry about. She stamps her feet, waiting for you to say something. What's this crime business? Crime fiction is about murders or burglaries or things like that, and the work of a policeman or a private detective who's trying to solve a crime and catch the criminals. What? Not fiction. I need to know what crime is. She doesn't know what to say. It's that bad. Point to your head. Crime is what we were solving before this conversation began. Why would anyone want to read about crime? It's exciting to people, I guess. They get to imagine dangerous things, and it's kind of like a puzzle where you can guess who the criminal is, or how the good guys are going to catch him. I'm a policeman myself, by the way. You don't look like one. She examines you, as if to find something policeman-like. Well, what does a cop look like then? Didn't mean to offend, sir. It's just you don't look like Dick Mullins. She points to a book cover on which you see a strapping Vespertine officer. He stands grimly over the body of a dead woman. I used to be exactly like that Mullen guy. Then I decided to live a little. What does that mean? You know, cut loose, raise hell, blow off steam, and everything's better now? No. Why's that? Look at me. A hideous beast, a failure of a cop, a disgrace. Oh, sir, please, sir, don't say things like that. You look nice enough. Nice enough for a small child, maybe. Don't be sad, sir. She seems genuinely concerned. I'm sorry I said that thing about Dick Mullen. Well, look at that guy. I'll never be as good as Mullen. Don't say that. He's not even real. You're real. That's right. Oh, God, he's fucking bleak, isn't he, today? Overshadowed by a fake man. That's harsh. She looks up at you with sympathy. Cheer up, sir. It's much easier being a fictional character. He doesn't have to deal with real things. Maybe you can show me some real deductive police work, sir. Her smile is warm and consoling. Unlike the imperial image of Dick Mullen, like in the books. Like in the books! What is romance? It's the type of book where there's a rich lady and she has to choose between the good man and the bad man. She smiles at the thought, perhaps imagining herself in that situation. Or there could be a story about a poor lady getting a rich man. It's about a man and lady business, sir. What about a poor man getting a rich lady? It happens, but usually the rich guy... Sorry, but usually the guy gets rich in the process, or should actually be rich himself, but has lost his family property unjustly, like during the revolution or something. I see. Those are unhappy books for most of the pages. People sad about what they've lost, but then it all turns out fine in the end. But what about when both of the men are bad? These are not very common. You can't have a choice between bad and bad. Nobody wants to read a story like that. What if it's written really well? Well, maybe then it's fine. Maybe if the lady then decides not to pick either, because she doesn't need a bad man. Yeah, that would be interesting. Oh, that's enough romance for me. Who are these? Famous people? Oh, kings and queens and generals of old, or artists and writers, or musicians. Those kinds of people. There's usually something extraordinary about them. Can I become famous by reading one of these books? I don't know about that, but I imagine life is great when you're famous. Fame sounds delicious. Maybe someone will write a book about me one day. Why would they do that, sir? Because I'll be a superstar cop. In the papers and everything, that'll show them. That's so cool. Maybe they'll make a book cover picture and everything, standing over a dead body holding a gun. Okay, bye. See you around, Annette. Oh, I pressed the wrong button. And it worked. I don't know what I pressed, but there we go. Why'd you keep your hands folded? What do you mean, sir? She looks wary. She knows where this is going. You don't need to worry. I'm here to help. She looks around anxiously. Her hands remain folded in front of her. She doesn't want to show them. The lieutenant stands by, looking at the two of you with little interest. A facade of true professionalism. He is far more intrigued by the situation than his poise reveals. It's okay. She brings out her reddened hands. Her nails are frayed, nearly chewed down to the flesh. Bite your nails? And you knew this from me keeping my hands folded? She shoots you a suspicious glance. It's super simple for a detective such as myself. Well, that proves nothing. Anyone could do an easy deduction like that. Her eyes flash with defiance. She's not impressed. I bet I can figure out why you bite your nails. I've got a few reasons in mind. She nods, half provocative, half enthusiastic. You're uptight because of your mother and the pressure she's putting on you. Maybe so, sir. Okay, I know it's a bad habit and I shouldn't... Either way. Another ace deduction by the #1 detective in town. It was okay, sir. She's still got a rebellious streak. There's more that can be achieved here. Ask her to do the same. You think so? Fine, do better. Deduce something about me. You're quite sober. She snaps back quickly. The lieutenant does not flinch at the comment. He does not flinch even a single bit. He is intentionally not flinching. It takes effort. Hey, how do you know I'm usually not? Because you usually aren't. And I'm having a grand time. I sure hope you are, sir. She rubs her red nose. There she stands, swaying on her feet, assaulted by the early spring breeze. She smiles at you. The whole situation suddenly feels familiar somehow. Why does this feel familiar? Fail. Oh. Because you know each other. She's been talking to you so openly because you've talked before. We've met before. Yes, I stand in this spot all the time. She sways back and forth on her feet. You've been running around all week without your shirt on, sir, apologising to everybody. I don't really understand what you've done wrong. Did I talk to you? Of course. You stopped by a few times. She looks at you intently. You certainly look better than the last time I saw you. I doubt that. No, you don't have party eyes anymore. The lieutenant slowly, ever so slowly, realises something. Party eyes? Yeah, of course, that makes sense. I'm not surprised children have seen you running around with party eyes on, he thinks. Not at all. Party eyes? You know, like a cat in the dark, all big and wide. She giggles at the thought. It certainly looks odd on a man. The swivelling eyes of a loony drug addict. That's what she meant. You're probably gurning too. Fuck yeah. You should get some party eyes right now. Snap those sequins on you, boy. Does that mean I've been partaking in narcotics? Oh, baby, that's not what you have to worry about. Worry about the important thing. So why didn't you tell me you knew to begin with? I didn't know I had to do that. She looks puzzled. Thanks. I've learned something about myself today. I'm glad I could help. Okay, see you around. That was really unhelpful. An unhelpful conversation. I think I deduced that we were already a massive drug addict already. What we got over here? We're going to have a look around your shop, mate. Gift books and molten candy. The Man from Heimdall series. The display rack is brimming with warm paperbacks featuring an extremely muscular sword-wielding barbarian on the cover. Nearly all of the titles contain the word Heimdall somewhere. Storman, tell me about these Muscle Man books. Oh, Man from Heimdall. A very popular series of adventure novels. She looks at the book with some disdain. They're awfully immoral and violent books. Why are they so popular? Blood and violence, scantily clad women, epic narratives, all those mystical things he encounters. They're bound to grab those with little imagination and nothing to do. Sounds good. Which one should I start with? What does it matter? They're all the same. She rolls her eyes, then fiddles with her pendant. However, the customer is always right, they say. If you're a novice of the series, I'd recommend Heimdaller Man, the Man from Heimdall. It's supposed to be a good introduction to the series. Look through the display of books. Rows and rows of Heimdaller Man blur your vision. You make out some titles. Man from Heimdall and the Mammoth Riders. Man from Heimdall, Return to Heimdall. And the Solipstick, Man from Heimdall and the Heimdall Man. Good enough. Good God, how many are there? Maybe 100? Man from Heimdall and the Stages at the End of the World. Man from Heimdall and the False God. Man from Heimdall and the Scorched Earth. Man from Heimdall, the Heimdall Colonies. Man from Heimdall and the Swamp Beast. Man from Heimdall and the Snow Crabs. Those snow crabs are worse than they sound. Is that all? Not even close. I'm not going to read all of those. Do any of the books call out to me? Check failure. Why? 72% is pretty fucking good. We don't have enough money to buy any. What board games do you have here? Wonderful board games, sir. The Viticularist. Oh, Viticulturist. Who knows what that says? It's a classic for sure. Or perhaps you'd like Archipelagos of Insulined? A very educational game for those interested in geography. Ralbiter is a fun game of economic competition, but you can get quite intense after a while. We have games for the whole family. You can play with your children. Who are you going to play board games with? Do you have friends or family? Do I have friends? Look at the lieutenant. Are you actually friends or just colleagues thrown together by circumstance? I don't feel as if I have any kids. Friends are technically like family, she fiddles with her pendant, thinking. For playing with friends, I'd recommend Suzerainty, a civilization building game where you build a civilization, then set off to brutally colonize and repress other civilizations. It'll cost 12 real. This is all a very boring conversation. Old sports magazines. I don't know what can be gathered from talking to this lady, so we'll have a quick look.
Welcome to Crime, Romance and Biographies of Famous People. My name is Plaisance. Be welcome, and please take responsibility for the energy you bring into this space.
A gold pendant hangs around the woman's neck in the shape of what looks like a tiny fish head trapped in amber. You seem to be well off enough. Can you give me some money? I feel there won't be an opportune moment to ask later.
Sir, don't be ridiculous. I certainly will not give you money. I would be doing you a grave psychic disfavour. One has to earn one's success, even if one is a police officer. Handouts are nothing but manipulation. All they do is make you dependent.
Son, you got destroyed there. What an idiot you are. A curious pendant you're wearing.
Oh yes, helps to have an anchor in these times.
So are you the owner of this store?
I am the proudest owner of our little shop of culture.
Her voice is high-pitched, as if to give it more penetration. She has fine-tuned her voice to find the most welcoming approach for attracting new customers. It doesn't work. The girl outside mentioned that this place is cursed. Cursed? Who said that? Annette? She blinks. I will have a word with her. This place is not cursed. It has a robustly magnetic energy. Good for commercial activity. My business is thriving, sir. Doesn't feel like it's thriving. It feels ghostly. Your daughter is the one standing outside the store, right? Annette, yes, my daughter. I hope she wasn't slacking off again with her nose in science fiction. Tell me, was she at her post, doing her job like a proper girl? Yes, of course. Wonderful. Did you talk to her? Yes. Great. On a scale of 1 to 10, how compelled were you to buy books after talking with her? Certainly. 10. She's certainly very polite and helpful. My precious. Her dedication brings joy to my heart. She's immensely satisfied with the answer. If you have children, I hope they turn out as great as my Annette. I get she's a trooper, all right. She looks like she can take it, but it's actually wearing her down. You know she's been biting her nails. God, I told her not to do that. It's such a disgusting habit. She'll get over it. Anxiety is a part of life. A part of hers too, clearly. I don't think she can do anything about it. She can, if she has enough willpower. That's what's called growing pains. Life isn't easy. Life doesn't give breaks. Come on, ma'am. It's obvious you can't do anything about it. She can't do anything about it. You're placing an unnecessary burden on a young child. What you're doing is wrong. Even I know that. And I don't normally know anything. She stands stiff and severe, silently fuming. 10 or so seconds pass without change. All of a sudden she exhales sharply, her shoulders slump down. Oh no. Hold on. I need to invite her in and apologise. She must be freezing out there. There. I don't know what to say to you. My husband, he tries to teach me business lessons. I have what my mother called a dull mind, all this stress. She stops, but her mouth keeps moving. It sounds like both the husband and the mother treat her the way she treats Annette. You're like Annette to your husband and your mother. Oh, just nod compassionately. Yes, sometimes it's better to let people come to these conclusions themselves. Is this husband Annette's father? Yes, my husband is a successful entrepreneur east of the river. If only he were more involved in the business we're running up here, she says gloomily. No matter, soon we'll both be off for Grand Couronne. And your husband's also involved with the bookstore. He made the initial investment. Since then he's been what you might call a silent partner. Is she an only child? Yes, I'm afraid so. A real treat she is. It would be nice if she had... No, we couldn't have afforded more children, really. Not in this economy. Of course, yes, this economy. Exactly, she agrees wholeheartedly. She told me she doesn't go to school anymore. She's been too busy helping me here, so she studied at home this trimester. This is a temporary solution, of course. I assure you, I of all people understand the importance of education. She will be back in school the moment the store takes off. Right, I had something else in mind. The woman looks aloof, her features much softer. Occasionally she glances at her daughter's silhouette. What if I want to buy a book? Then why are you talking to me? Everything is on the shelves to browse. Don't you feel compelled to buy anything? She fiddles with her pendant, then waves her bony fingers directly at you. See those shelves there? Go, be drawn. What types of books do you have? Everything is on the shelves. Take a look. All right, I'll look then. Farewell for now. I'm going to have a little nose over here, if I can get away with it. You see a set of tattered curtains blocking the way to another room. A strange cage-like trinket dangles from the curtains.
Excuse me, officer. The back back room is strictly for employees only.
She's right. Those curtains certainly give off some eerie vibes. Shopkeeper, what's behind the curtains? Nothing. Now please go back to browsing books. She fiddles with her pendant. Don't you feel compelled to look about the books? The books are all you care about. Oddly enough, the more she tries to draw you away from the curtains, the more alluring they become. Examine the strange cage-like trinket. You see some kind of charm. An irregular polyhedron assembled from bones, sticks and straws. Inside, a disturbing fish head with empty eye sockets stares at you. Aside from poking at it suspiciously, there's nothing else to do with the fish head charm at this time. The curtains remain shut before you. What's so eerie about these curtains? Be wary of those mysterious ornaments from the Dark Isles. Dark Isles? What's going on? Do you realise what's out there? Upon the mist-shrouded islands of Ile de Fantôme in Semine, eerie pygmies and wild shamans with practising unnatural mysteries. What? Eerie pygmies and wild shamans with practising unnatural mysticism. Oh, there we go. That's what it was. Yes, I've sensed that. It's terrifying. They lurk in the tropical pale of Seminine, casting strange magics on everyone. Ignore the curtains or suffer the consequences. Pull open the curtains. Is this a bad idea? You pull open the curtains. Just as you're about to pull the curtains apart, the petrified voice of the shop owner cries out once more. Sir, don't touch that. I told you it's off limits for customers. Her hand has closed around her pendant, her fingers nervously playing with the talisman. Parapsychologically speaking, we're done. If you decide to open them, I won't be responsible for the consequences. It's too dangerous. Oh. She looks away, mumbling. Why is everyone always messing about with the curtains? Why can't they just buy books like normal people? This is about the curse. That's why you're afraid. No, it's a storeroom for the employees. I told you. Now please, step away from the curtains. This is different. I'm a police officer. I need to get in there. Why? It's not like anyone was killed there. She stops abruptly as her hand flies over her mouth, baffled by her own bluntness. I am sorry. I don't mean to be so impolite. Please just go in there. I can't allow it. You'll only make things worse and unleash the powers. What? I sense this place calling for me. I must investigate beyond the threshold. You do? She grabs her pendant again, visibly shaken. My God. Even more reasons to not mess with the curtains. Just step away, dear sir. I'm opening them. No! She raises her hand to try and stop you. Please, just talk to me, officer. Come here and let's talk this through before you decide to do anything extreme. Lies! Rip them open, we say! There is something mysterious about these curtains. Be careful. The curtains, tattered with age and covered in dust, hang before you, as if taunting you. I'm going to rip them apart. You see a dimly lit room full of dusty furniture and trash. A doorway stands in the back, covered in dozens of scary little Seminese wards, with shadow looming over it like an omen. I warned you. You are unleashing forces beyond your understanding. We have unlocked a thought in our thought cabinet. Technically, you wouldn't be a cop anymore, but a hobo. That would mean game over for the cop chapter of your adventures. But who knows where the hobo part takes you? To the bar? The old La Massoir? To the pier on the sewers? To Le Royaume? Where for 300 years they interred the dead. You could plunder royalist crypts for long-forgotten triple malt bourbon, then fight the Armacan beast that lurks the bottommost sepulchres. The secrets of the city are all yours at last. This reveals extra special collector's edition tear bottles on the map. More money from selling tar. Learning cap for shivers is raised to 6. Wonderful place to end our episode there. We've become Hobocop. We're exploring some spooky curtains. Thanks for joining us. Don't forget to hit that like button. That will help push my discoverability up. If you haven't already, please subscribe. feel free to comment. I'm desperately requesting any criticism. I'm aware that the first couple of episodes I made were a little fragmented and I was umming and ahhing all over the place. I think some of the episodes have been a little bit boring. I don't know if anyone's actually interested in the game. Please give me any feedback you can. I really appreciate it. I will take it into account and try to improve anything about the episodes. If there's any games out there or anything that you recommend that I add to the channel, please let me know. I'd love to hear it. Catch you all on the next episode. Thanks very much. Have a great day.